Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 36th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about the difference between passing values by reference and passing values by value, right? Or passing variables by reference and passing variables by value. So, you know, when you pass something by reference, what you're doing is you're passing the object itself. And when you're passing something by value, what you're doing is you're creating a copy of that, object or the variable, and you're passing the copy to the function. So, whereas when you pass something by reference, any change that you make to the variable inside the function, those changes are reflected to the outside value as well. Whereas, if you pass something by value, then the changes that you make, to the function, copy of the variable, those changes are not reflected back to the calling function, right? So I guess all of this will be clear if I demonstrate, the concept through an example, right? So that's what we're going to do now. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create a dictionary called employee, and in the dictionary I'm going to have names of employees as keys and their IDs as values, right? So let's say I have 3 employees in an organization, and the name of the first one is Alex, and let's say the ID of Alex is 1500, and let's say the name of the second employee is John, and the ID of John is 1200, and let's say the name of the third employee is Peter, and the ID of Peter is 1400, right? And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the def keyword and create a function called test that takes this dictionary employee as an argument, right? And I'll put in a colon, get inside the function's body. Now let's say 2 more employees have joined the organization, and I have the details of these 2 employees in another dictionary called new, and I'll create it, and let's say the name of the first employee is Buck, and the ID of Buck is 2000, right? And the name of the second employee is Stan, and the ID of Stan is 4000, right? And let me update the employee dictionary, because these 2 employees are new entrants to the organization, so obviously the employee dictionary would have to be updated, and we're going to use the update dictionary function to update the employee dictionary. I'll type in employee.update, and then within parentheses I'll pass in the name of the dictionary that has the new values, and which in this case is new. And next I'm going to use a print function to display the value of the employee dictionary from within the function, right? So inside the function, the employee dictionary is this, and I'm going to type in the return keyword, get outside the function body, and then simply call the function by typing in test, and as an argument to it I have to pass the employee dictionary that I created outside the function. And on the next line I'm going to use the print statement to display the contents of the dictionary from outside the function, right? So outside the function, and I'll put in a colon here, and then employee, right? I'll save the file and run it, and there we go. We see that inside the function I have John, Alex, Buck, Peter, and Stan, and outside the function also I have John, Alex, Buck, Peter, and Stan. And this is despite the fact that outside the function the employee dictionary had only 3 values. It only had Alex, John, and Peter. But since we changed this dictionary inside the test function, these changes have been reflected outside the test function as well. So this proves the fact that in Python variables are passed by reference and not by value. Now if suppose I get rid of this statement, I don't change the employee dictionary this way, and if I change it this way, as in if I make a new employee object inside my test function, and if I let the other employee object outside the test function be as is, I'll save the file now, and when I run the program I see that inside the function I have Stan and Buck as the only 2 employees in the organization, and outside the function I have John, Alex, and Peter. So the values outside are the same as the values with which I created the dictionary originally, right? So what has happened here is that inside the test function I am not using the employee object that was passed to the function. Instead I've created a new employee object and I've assigned it new values, right? So this is a new dictionary, and this is different from the dictionary that was passed to the function. So this is a local variable, and the one that we used in the other case, that was a global variable, and we're going to talk about local and global variables in a couple of tutorials. But for the time being, I just wanted to tell you guys that in Python, whatever values you pass to your functions, you know, those values are the actual objects that are passed, right? So I hope you guys have now understood the difference between calling by reference and calling by value, and also, you know, how things work in Python. And I'll see you in the next video, in which we'll discuss something interesting again, and you may subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Till then, take care.